Alright, this is a tutorial on making a door controlled by a switch. First thing you want to do is pick out which texture you want to use for your door. In this case, we're going to pick the hall door 1, which is a 256 by 256. Go ahead and head up to brush, add a primitive box, make that 256. Go ahead and texture that box. And we're going to shrink this down a little bit, make it look a little bit more like a door. And you can switch over to geometry mode. Using L, set texture on there. Do that on both sides. And we're going to switch back into brush. And we're going to actually split this door in half since it's two doors. We have two individual guys. Select the first side, center the marker on it. Bind to object, a door. Select the second one, center it. Bind to object, a door. Now we're going to make another thing. Go ahead and hit brush, add a primitive box, and we're going to make a small one, 64. And this is going to be our switch. We'll put it right next to it here. You can make that any shape, size, whatever you prefer. Switch panels are going to be in your details here on texture. We'll pick that guy. So now we have what looks like a little switch there, and you can adjust that accordingly. Center your marker on that guy. Right click, bind to object. And switch is actually hidden in your door node right here. So now we have a switch and two individual doors. Now all we have to do is set the properties of these guys. Let's go ahead and set up our switch first since we're on it. Go into its properties. First thing we want to look for down here is going to be the on trigger target, which is this guy. And we have door 0 and door 1. So we're going to make the target door 0. And what is it going to do to that? It's going to trigger that. So now when you go and push that, it's going to look for door 0 and activate it. You can also set that as a delay if you want to push the button and have it delay a second or two, what have you. Now we're going to go into the properties of door 0. Go to its state flags first. Activate triggers, which you want to look for. Basically, you're setting this to false because you don't want the player to be able to go up to the door and push it. You want to make him go to the switch and push it. So, I'm going to set that as false. We're also going to do false, force to move, true, so it'll push the player out of the way if he gets in the way of the door. Now we're going to go down to your move distance. Since these are 128 by 256, we're going to set that door's properties to move 256, so it'll be completely out of your field of sight. And you can set your speed to whatever you prefer. Same with your sound, whatever sound you prefer the door to be at. What we want to do is set the move direction here. We want the door to go left and right. So we're going to work with your x-axis here. To move left, you want to be -1. To move right, you want 1. So this door on the left is going to move left. So we're going to set that -1. And we're going to go down to door link. And we're going to find the second door, which is door 1. We're going to link it to that door. So basically what's going to happen is when you hit the switch, it's going to tell door 0 to move, and door 0 is going to tell door 1 to move. Now we're going to go into the properties of door 1. We're going to basically do the same thing as door 0. State flags, activate trigger false, force move true. Now we're going to go down, move that 256, 128, whatever you prefer, however much you want the door to move. I would recommend making it the same distance as this door, otherwise they'll fall out of sync. Set your sounds and your move direction. We want this one to be 1, which is its default, which is going to make it move right. Now on this guy you don't have to set the door link because it's already set on the other guy. If you wanted this to link to a third door, you could do it that way, or a fourth, or so on down the line. Now we're going to go and make another brush, add a primitive box, and we're going to say 1,000. We want that to completely envelop that. We're going to build a little outer shell real quick here. And while you have that selected, hit the F button. We're just going to flip it. Hit Control J to unlock those, so now you have individual guys. And we're going to select Container, add a container node, and we're going to put all those guys into there. And that's going to be your outer shell in that guy. Since that's all no snap, we're going to go down here, make no snap true, outer shell is going to be 0. We can select the rest of the items here. Deselect your outer shell, property. Since everything's in there, we're going to make that detail level 1. And we can go ahead and texture these just to make it look a little nicer. We'll pick a nice floor ceiling here. Just do concrete. Alright, look at it from the side here. We're going to move that crosshair. You can hold down active around, and that's going to move a point. We're going to object here, your game start point. And we're going to add a world properties. And we're going to move this guy up a little bit here. We're going to add one more thing, which is going to be a light. Go into its properties, depending on your light preferences, and adjust that accordingly. Now we have a nice big old light over that guy. It'll be nice and bright in there. Go ahead and process it up. And we'll run it. Alright, there's your door and your switch.